Here's what would happen if all the ice at the North Pole and South Pole melted. The melting of the polar ice caps would have catastrophic consequences for our planet. This event would cause some areas of the world to flood, while others would experience extreme dryness, displacing billions of people, causing widespread famine and altering the course of human history. But just how bad would it be? Let's find out. As we know, most of the Earth's fresh water is stored in the Arctic and Antarctic ice sheets. If all this ice were to melt, it would have profound implications for our planet. Here are 10 things that would happen if all the ice at the North Pole and South Pole melted. Number 1. A dramatic increase in sea levels. If all the ice in the Arctic and Antarctic melted, global sea levels would rise by more than 65 meters. This would be enough to submerge major cities like New York, which is just 2 meters above sea level, Jakarta, Indonesia's capital, which is only 7 meters above sea level, and Tokyo, Japan's capital, which sits at just 9 meters above sea level. Many coastal communities would be completely underwater and millions of people would be forced to leave their homes. Entire countries such as the Maldives, which has an average elevation of just 1.5 meters above sea level, would cease to exist as we know them. Number 2. Loss of natural habitats. The melting of the polar ice caps would have a devastating impact on the natural habitats of many species, particularly those found in the Arctic and Antarctic regions. For example, polar bears rely on sea ice as a platform to hunt seals, their primary source of food. As the ice melts, polar bears would lose their hunting grounds, leading to starvation and ultimately extinction. Similarly, penguins depend on the stability of the Antarctic ice sheet to lay their eggs and raise their chicks. Without the ice, their nests would be destroyed and their young would be left exposed and vulnerable, leading to a decline in penguin populations. Number 3. Disappearance of glaciers and ice sheets. The polar ice caps are home to many glaciers and ice sheets, which play a vital role in regulating global temperatures and sea levels. When these glaciers and ice sheets melt, they release large amounts of fresh water into the ocean, which can cause sea levels to rise rapidly. Additionally, they reflect a significant amount of sunlight back into space, helping to keep our planet cool. As they disappear, more sunlight is absorbed by the Earth's surface, leading to global warming. 4. Extreme climate changes. The melting of the polar ice caps would cause extreme climate changes across the globe. As mentioned earlier, it would lead to rising sea levels, which would cause more heat waves, storms, and floods in coastal areas. It would also disrupt ocean currents, leading to changes in temperature and precipitation patterns. For example, the Gulf Stream, a current that carries heat from the Gulf of Mexico to Europe, could weaken, leading to colder temperatures in Western Europe and warmer temperatures in North America. These extreme climate changes would have significant impacts on weather patterns and could lead to more extreme weather events such as hurricanes, droughts, and floods. Number 5. Threat to human life. The melting of the polar ice caps would pose a significant threat to human life. Rising sea levels would inundate coastal cities and force millions of people to migrate, leading to a global refugee crisis. The extreme climate changes would also make large parts of the planet uninhabitable, forcing humans to flee to more hospitable regions. The competition for resources such as food and water would intensify, leading to conflicts and instability. Number 6. More frequent and intense storms. The melting of the polar ice caps would lead to more frequent and intense storms around the world. This is because the temperature difference between the equator and the poles drives the circulation of air currents, which in turn causes storms. As the poles become warmer, the temperature difference decreases, leading to stronger storms. Additionally, warmer air holds more moisture, leading to more intense rainfall and snowfall, which can exacerbate flooding and other storm-related damages. Number 7. Disruption of ocean currents. The melting of the polar ice caps would also disrupt ocean currents, leading to significant changes in temperature and precipitation patterns around the world. Ocean currents play a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate by transporting heat from one region to another. The melting ice would alter these currents, leading to regional and global climate shifts. For example, the Gulf Stream, a current that carries warm water from the Gulf of Mexico to Western Europe, could weaken, leading to colder temperatures in Western Europe and warmer temperatures in North America. These changes in ocean currents could also lead to more extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, droughts, and floods. 8. Loss of biodiversity. The melting of the polar ice caps would lead to a loss of biodiversity, as many species that depend on the ice for survival would face extinction. As mentioned earlier, polar bears and penguins are among the most iconic species that would be affected by the loss of polar ice. However, the impact would extend to many other species, including phytoplankton, which form the basis of the marine food chain in polar regions. The loss of phytoplankton would have cascading effects on the entire ecosystem, leading to the collapse of marine food chains and the extinction of many species. Number 9. Coastal erosion. The melting of the polar ice caps would lead to increased coastal erosion, threatening the stability of coastal communities. As sea levels rise, the erosive power of waves would increase, leading to more rapid erosion of coastlines. This would exacerbate the risk of landslides and mudslides, which could damage property and infrastructure and threaten the safety of coastal residents. Number 10. Disruption of the water cycle. The melting of the polar ice caps would disrupt the water cycle, leading to changes in precipitation patterns and water availability around the world. The water cycle is driven by the sun's energy, which evaporates water from the Earth's surface, forming clouds that eventually return to the surface as precipitation. The melting ice would alter this cycle, leading to changes in rainfall, snowfall, and other forms of precipitation. These changes could have significant impacts on agriculture, water resources, and weather patterns, leading to droughts, floods, and other extreme weather events. In conclusion, the melting of all the ice at the North Pole and South Pole would have massive and far-reaching consequences for our planet. From rising sea levels to extreme climate changes, this event would cause widespread devastation and disruption to the delicate balance of our planet's systems. It is crucial that we take action now to reduce carbon emissions and support renewable energy and environmental conservation efforts to mitigate the impacts of climate change and protect our planet for future generations. So let's all do our part to create a sustainable future for ourselves and for the incredible planet we call home. Thanks for watching. Now check out this video over here that YouTube thinks you should watch. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.